if Brexit is affecting community cohesion, I'm not sure. I think it's definitely having an effect on it, but from where I stand, I think it depends on which side of the fence you sit, actually.
I think in terms of community cohesion, I think we have to first ask ourselves, like, which community are we speaking about? Because there is one that's trying to define itself as cohesive, that it seems to be fighting for itself.
It's a difficult question because I think in the more educated of society, I don't think it has impacted at all. I think, if anything, it's made us angry at the government rather than particular groups in society.
I'm not a massive fan of the whole idea of European bureaucracy or the anti-democratic nature of the EU, particularly like how anti-migrant they are on certain issues as well. But at the same time, like, it's quite clear that Brexit in the UK is not really about democracy, and it's not really about fairness or anything like that. It is like a xenophobic attempt to get rid of people from this country.
I think for those who are against Brexit, or primarily against it, and want to remain in the UK, I think it's possibly bringing people closer together. But I think in terms of those who are not, who want to be Brexit, then possibly it is pulling people apart. So, if I'm honest, I'm not sure.
From what I hear from people working in financial services, is particularly worried about the fact that there's no certainty of what comes next. They've gone from hoping for Remain to reaching a point where it's, can we please get an answer one way or another so we can plan for the future?
Like, obviously there's problems with the EU, but that's a completely different discussion in how to actually leave the EU, because clearly majority of the people who did vote for Brexit are doing it as a way to preserve whatever they constitute as like a national white supremacist identity, and this is just perpetuating very much like a nationalistic idea of what community should look like in the UK.
Like, I'm not from London, I'm from Bristol, but where I live in Bristol is like a huge migrant community in places that we live. And the people there living in those communities, get on well, and we feel like a sense of solidarity because, we're just poor working class people. We all experience the same problems. And so, I feel like Brexit is about trying to divide those communities.
I think anyone that doesn't understand the difference between Brexit and, say, immigration or anything like that, they don't quite understand what's supposed to be achieved. So I think all it's really showing is that the uneducated are being duped by rhetoric, essentially, from our government.
And that sense of hoping things will be over soon seems to resonate up and down the country, even if London is quite culturally distinct from other areas in the UK. Even people who voted for Remain, I think, are now starting to reach the point of going, we'd like a resolution. That being said, it doesn't appear that one's coming soon, so the rift in UK communities engendered by Brexit I don't think will be solved in short order, I'm afraid.